before you add any liquid or seasonings, you want to mix it. After I mix the potatoes, I put a little bit of 1% milk. Here, that's probably about a 1/4 cup I put in. It's a little more. I'm going to put a little bit more, about another 1/4 cup. If you have a dairy allergy, you can, if you're lactose intolerant, you can use soy milk or almond milk. I do that sometimes for the clients, but I prefer just reduced fat milk. Then I add, normally I do salt and garlic powder, but Minnie has garlic salt, so I'm just going to do garlic salt and no salt. Mix, just fold that in, and then I'm going to do some pepper, and that's just to taste. And if you have, one thing I do at the center is I add dried chives. So that it looks pretty and it tastes good. I don't do it with every meal. It depends on what protein and veggie I'm making. But for this Thanksgiving meal, I think it's good with just, and put a little bit more for good measure. I always start with a little bit of seasoning, mix it in, and then I add a little more. Now we gotta taste it. Let me taste it. Let's see. That's good. I'm gonna add a little bit more. Actually, I'm gonna add a little salt. Oh, you wanna put that in there? Well, let's just wait. Okay. She's probably gonna say it's don't add any salt. Let's see. Let me get, you got that? Here, let me get you a fresh spoon. I don't want to add more garlic.
I'm the tasting point.
I tend to put a little more salt than I.
There's plenty of salt.
Okay, there we go. Then it's done. That's it.
That's good.
I mean, they're good without any butter. These taste great. Great starch for your meal plan. This is going to be sweet potato casserole. It is a healthy version that I've come up with. So this is a healthy version. So I got these sweet potatoes. I boiled them. I washed them and boiled them, and then I peeled the skin off. So now I'm going to mash them up like I did the mashed potatoes. I am going to use this evaporated milk. You can get the reduced fat. You can use soy milk, almond milk, 1% milk. Any of it will work. Then you add this brown sugar blend, Truvia. It's an alternative to brown sugar that will work on the meal plan. And do about a 1/4 cup. Then I add some cinnamon. And you can use a potato masher. I just like, since I like it this consistency. I also use a little allspice. A little bit more than that. And then, last of all, some vanilla. Just a little bit of vanilla, pure vanilla. Now, this is Thanksgiving meal, so I'm going a little extra, but it'll all fit in the meal plan. But sometimes you know, I make sweet potatoes for the clients, and then if I have a bunch left, I will take the skin off and mash it up and just put a little cinnamon and like some sugar-free syrup. You can do that just for a quick version if you don't have the brown sugar blend. All right, so now I'm gonna pour it into this little bowl. And I'm gonna top it with some toasted pecans. And I'm gonna stick it back in the oven. There you have a very simple, healthy version, sweet potato casserole. This is my Aunt Linda's famous spinach strawberry salad. So you just take baby spinach and you put it in the bowl. And then, this is already washed and ready to go. You put purple onion. I like to dice it up pretty small, bite-sized pieces. If you don't like onion, you don't have to put onion. And then strawberries, sliced strawberries. And this is a beautiful salad too, I may add. I like to use different colors in my food. All right, and then you use, okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. And then you use feta cheese. See how pretty? You got purple going, red, white. I love to decorate, and so I kind of bring that into my food. And then pecans. Is it pecan or pecans?
Pecans.
Okay. Somebody calls them pecans. Where? In the deep south?
I call them pecans.
Well, I do too, but I
Some
hear.
call them pecans.
Okay.
And some call them tomato. I call it tomatoes. Some call it
Tomato,
tomatoes.
tomatoes, potatoes, potatoes. Okay. Anyway, then these are pecans that have been roasted. You could just throw it in the oven for about 10-15 minutes with Lawry seasoning. Here's my seasoning. Okay. Lawry seasoning salt. You just roast them. Just call us Lucy and Ethel, okay? Okay. But you put Lawry seasoning salt and just roast those for a few minutes and top your salad with it. And there you have a beautiful spinach strawberry salad. Oh, let me show you one more thing. This dressing, it's called Skinny Girl. It's fat-free, sugar-free dressing. There's poppy seed and raspberry vinaigrette. I prefer strawberry vinaigrette if you can find that, but raspberry will work. It's really good too. And I like to mix this together and put it in your salad. And there you have it. Okay, we're gonna make some green beans. And first turn your heat on to about a medium high and use a little bit of olive oil. You can use canola oil, whichever you prefer. And then we're gonna saute some onion and some fresh garlic. Now, if you don't have fresh garlic, you can use minced garlic. I personally like to keep a can of, or a jar of fresh minced garlic that's already cut out. That's a staple in my house. I put a spoon of that in almost everything. Let's see, I'm gonna do a little bit more onions. I'm gonna go ahead and do all these onions. Okay. I'm also going to add in some almonds. Just a little. It will be spread out enough that it won't affect your meal plan. And I don't do this all the time, but since this is a Thanksgiving meal, we want to make it a little extra fancy. So, there's that. And just saute this all together. Now I hear it sizzling. Now we're cooking. You start hearing it. Oh, there's nothing that smells better than garlic and onions sauteing. If you've been out all day and you need to cook a meal, and you want your family to think you've been cooking for a while, just right when you get home, just saute them onions and garlic. And that'll give them hope that a meal's on their way, and they'll think that you've been cooking all day long. Alright, I'm going to take, Manny and I both love these Italian green beans. They're just flat cut green beans. I prefer the powder, but she had the beef bouillon cubes, so I just crumble them up. Put that in there, and then I'm going to put some pepper. What did you say?
Go easy on the salt.
I will go easy on the salt. And then a little bit of garlic salt. If you have garlic powder, use that with just a little salt. That way you can control the garlic and the salt. And then you gotta put Tony's in Cajun, and you put it in everything. It just adds a little kick, a little bite. You do not have to put that in.
It's that Cajun again.
It's that Cajun. I am a proud Cajun. Okay, and then that's all you have to do. So I may have made a mistake on fold when I said fold means to stir.
Keep in mind, I was a 4-H teacher, and so I taught the kids the difference between stirring and folding. When you stir like this. When you fold something in, you very gently fold it over, because what you're doing is you're folding in air into that, and she's making like a souffle, and so
That's really what I was doing.
But if you stir it, it will beat the air out of it, and it'll be tough. So you're going to fold the air into it, and it'll be fluffy and come out like a souffle. That's your lesson in folding.